Sonics. I'm here with my Opsix from Korg. I'm working on a Hurdy-Gurdy sound tutorial. I'm going to take this patch and reconstruct it from scratch. And I'm going to do that right now. Hit Shift Initialize, hit yes. Okay, so I'm going to go through this operator by operator and so forth. So I'm using algorithm 5. So let's go to algorithm button. We're on algorithm 5 now. And here's 3 carriers and 3 modulators. 1, 3, and 5 are the carriers. 2, 4, and 6 are the modulators. Okay? Now I'm using several different modes. This is a mixed mode. Operator 1 is going to be effect operator. And it's going to be a sine wave. And it's going to be the comb filter. So I'm going to take the second knob on the top right and go to comb. And those parameters are a mix of 100. The frequency is going to be, that's the cutoff frequency is plus 25.4. You can hit shift to get anywhere from 0.0 to 0.9 to dial that. So there that is. And the feedback will be 46. Plus 46, because it does have negative, but we're going positive here. And the operator level will be controlled with the motion sequencer, but for now, let's keep it at about 75% on operator 1. The course ratio is going to be 8, and I get there by going to the pitch tab and going to the bottom of the 6 knobs to get 8. Alright, so I'm course ratio 8. I'm not changing any detune or transpose. Actually, the transpose is going to be down. Transpose is minus 12. Now, because the ratio is 8, the pitch is going to go high. So you need to go into, before I go any further, let's go to Shift Effect for the global menu. And you want to go to Tune. That's the first category down, and there's master tune and transpose. Make that minus 12, and now we're back into. So this is the only one we're hearing right now. So it's high. Now, next one, operator 2. We'll do all the envelopes and EGs after that. So second one will be FM, and it will be a saw waveform. So let's go to saw, hit yes, and the maximum operator level. And that's going to be a course ratio of 8 as well. Go to pitch, and bottom left of the 6 knobs go to 8. I'm keeping it polyphonic, even though hurdy-gurdies are sort of a monophonic with a drone, 2 notes, and then an upper note solo. So I'm keeping it polyphonic so that it just worked better when I did that. I mean, I tried it with fixed ratios, which kind of was good, monophonic, according to, Lugawelt made a really cool video about that on a different synth. I think it was Innovation's Peak he did this on, so I'm doing this on an FM synth with, of course, fixed with ratios that aren't fixed. Anyway, hopefully this will be good. So next, back into the mode button, operator 2. So we have an FM saw, course ratio 8, level 100. Okay, so the wave width is going to be controlled on this operator by the motion sequencer. So I'm going to put that at about 50. Now the feedback is at 49. Put that about middle. So nothing dramatic yet. And go into pitch. Let's see. This is going to be transposed also minus 12. already getting tinier, which is what we want for a string, but we're not anywhere close to there yet. So operator 3, go to op select when you're in the mode. It'll go take you to the dice with the 3 on it. And this is going to be an effect operator again. So dial upper left button to see effect, and then dial in again to the comb filter. We're doing another comb filter here. There's actually 3 comb filters on this patch, and I can send the program file too at the end of this video. So the effect operator is going to be a sine wave as well, and parameters are mix of 100, oscillator mix on operator 3 at 100. The frequency cutoff is going to be plus 46 semitones, and the feedback will be 28 plus 28. Okay. Doesn't really sound like much. I just went 2 octaves down on the keyboard here, so you can hear a lower register where we're going to eventually end up. Alright, so, and this third operator on the pitch will be transposed down another, also 12. Still very machiny, but that's fine. Alright, operator 4 next. And operator 4 is an FM saw. So we'll change the operator to another to a saw. I gotta turn the level up. The operator level of 3 will also fluctuate based on the motion sequencer, and the 4th operator is at 100. Sounds kind of muddy because we haven't dialed it yet. So it's an FM saw. Level of 100, the coarse ratio will be 2. And the width is 44. It goes backwards when you dial it up, because you're squishing the wave, basically. I can't really get a good view of the analyzer with this, I'm sorry, but that's like kind of pinches on the top like a weird square that kind of curves with really tiny teeth on the top. So feedback here will be affected by the motion sequencer, so I'll dial it up about halfway. And 4th operator's pitch will be transposed up an octave. You want to make sure not to affect the coarse ratio when you're doing this. It should say trans in the upper right hand corner when you're in the operator pitch menu. Just dial it up a maximum to plus 12. So now we're on the same octave again. Cool. Operator 5 is an FM additive square 3 wave. The level will be at 90. So we'll draw that slider up to 90. FM additive square 3. SQR3. And the coarse ratio will be 4. Envelopes are really where this starts to shine, because a lot of the mod slots that I made are going to the envelope and the feedback and the levels. So right now, with an attack of 0, it sounds very robotic still. All right. So width is 70. Feedback is 26. Transposition for this operator has 0, so that's not changing its octave. Moving on to operator 6, which is going to be an effect operator using the comb filter, and the wave will be a saw. Go to saw, go to effect, go to comb. level of this will be at 100. Okay, it's starting to change. It still sounds weird, but that's okay. That course ratio will be 2. And the comb mix will be 72. This is where the comb filter comes into play on this operator here. It makes a big difference. Feedback will be 31. I believe that's positive 31. We'll find out in a minute. And the cutoff is minus 10.6. And the transposition will be positive 12. It's starting to sound stringier now, right? Cool, all right. So we got all the mode stuff and the pitch stuff dialed in. Now we're going to be doing the, let's see, the key tracking is important too. And that's in the pitch here, no? No, it's in the level EG. All right, let's start with the envelopes next. All right, so the first operator will have an attack of 49. This is important. Decay of 1 second. Yeah, I listened to different Hurdy-Gurdy recordings. Sustain of 71. Decay of 1 second. Sustain of 71. Sorry, sustain of 71. To get the right flavor, if you will. Release of 0. Starting to get almost stringy, but still very 80s FM stringy. But the magic of ADSRs and matrices and effects, it's gonna really start sounding good soon. The release is 0, the curve is 6, and operator 2 next. Sorry I'm talking so much. Attack of 90 milliseconds. Second to decay, sustain of 78, release of 126. Is that 126 or? I think that is. And a curve of 8. Almost sounds a little like a bad cello still. Alright, that's operator 2, operator 3, 124 attack. It doesn't have to be exact, it can be around these values though. Sustain of 1, I'm sorry, sustain of 77, decay of 1 second, and a release of 64. And a curve of 6. Yeah, it's still very bitey, and I'm going to try and change that a bit soon. Operator 4 is next. Attack of 122. Decay of 1.813 seconds. And I got these values just from playing around with them. Sustain of 88. You could just do the same, of course. 177 release time. And a curve of 8. it's getting a little more realistic as I go along. 53 milliseconds, operator 5 attack. I mean, they all have their own individual envelopes, so that's really cool. 1.088. Sustain 26. So low sustain on operator 5. And the release is 13, really, really low. Because you want to get that clickiness. And the curve is a 10, exponential curve. So it has that bow starting to sound pretty good. Operator 6, 0 attack, 1 decay, 19 sustain, 169 ms release. Okay. And the curve is 6. Alright, so all the envelopes are done. Next we move on to the key tracking for the operators, which is the page forward in the level EG menu here on the Opsix. So I did a few things here too. The first 4 operators have C4 as the center. We're going to go through this first. C4 for 1 through 3 and 4, but on 5 it's F6 for the center. So we're going to go to F6. And I don't know why it is, it just seemed to work that way when I noodled through this. And operator 6 is going to be A sharp 3, going down the other way. Or B flat if you prefer. We'll go back to operator 1 and we'll dial in the low and highs for each of these. So for 1 it's 0 and minus 25. Dial that in there. For 2 it's 0 and minus 40. And the knob controlling the key track for the low is the top left of the 6 knobs. The one for the high is the top right of the 6 knobs. Because I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. Yeah, I guess you can. Alright, so I'm going to speed things up and talk a little less. Alright, all the curves are linear. I haven't changed the curves for any of these. 3 is C4, 0 minus 31. 4, 0 minus 35. 5 is 0 and plus 46. And 6 is 0 and plus 47. There's that now. So those are all done. As far as LFOs, I didn't really do much with the LFOs actually. I didn't really see too much of a need for them because I use the mod matrix for a lot of the rest. So I didn't affect the EG1 for the filter. Well, actually I did. Here, you know what, let's adjust the envelopes 1, 2, and 3. 1 was unchanged. 2 is 0 for the attack, 1.353 for the decay, 4 for the sustain, and 2.307 seconds for the release. It's kind of a long release. It's not playing yet because I haven't affected the filter yet, but we will do that. And the third envelope generator, which I am going to be assigning, the attack is 0, the decay is 237 milliseconds, the sustain is 0, and the release is 100. milliseconds, just like normal, and the curve is 10. Actually, going back to EG2, I forgot to mention that we want to have a 7 curve. So there's that. Okay, already did envelope 3, so now LFOs 1 through 3. We're almost through this here. We're at more than halfway point now. 20 minutes on. LFO1's a triangle at 6 Hertz. Sync is off, common, so that's not changed. The phase isn't changed. LFO2 is a triangle at 4.65 Hertz. Let's dial that up. This matters for vibrato. I attached exponential velocity for the, well, we'll see when we get there. I haven't done it yet, but alright, and now LFO3 is a triangle at 2 Hertz. I think that's default. Yeah, it is. So that's all well and good. Now the filter. The filter. What am I doing with the filter? It's a band reject 6. Just going to dial that. BRF6. Okay, and the cutoff is 32.99. Hertz, don't it? That's a low cutoff, you know, because there's numbers like 30 when you get up, because it's higher. Like if you go up here, it's kilohertz, so it's 32.99 Hertz. Gotta redial that now, because, alright, I moved the dial. And the resonance is 21.57%. It's getting cooler, slowly but surely. Alright, the EG2. Now, let's go to filter mod. The EG2, actually it's still in the filter menu. The EG2 will be at plus 94. So almost, I don't know, almost more than halfway. Plus 94. And LFO2 in the filter mod menu will be at plus 4.30. There. Sounds a little phasey now. I don't know why that is. I think it's because I haven't changed the key tracking for the filter yet, and I'm going to do that now. So the low is minus 0.89 for the key track. And the high is going to be plus 0.61. Oh shoot. I moved the LFO to high is plus 0.61. Okay. Alright. So that's all done. So now the effects. Actually, let's do the effects last. Let's go to the mod matrix. So shift virtual patch. And the first virtual patch is going to route the source of the envelope generator 3. And that's going to be going to the destination operator 2 FM feedback. And the intensity will be 100%. And the control will be the mod wheel. next will be LFO2 destination source. And that's going to go to the pitch, program pitch. That's the global pitch. And then I'm going to increase that intensity to 0.21. So it's not going to be a lot, and the control will be exponential velocity until you see EXP-VEL. So you have your vibrato. Nice. Next, we're routing EG3 again. And that's going to go to operator 4 FM feedback. And we're going to put that at an intensity of 100%. And that's going to be modified by the mod wheel as well. Okay, starting to sound hurdy-gurdy-ish. Last virtual patch is the mod wheel as the source. And the destination will be operator 5 attack time. And that intensity will be negative maximum. And the control will be velocity. To mimic the key click. So it's a little awkward to have to use the mod wheel every time. And I thought of adding aftertouch for that, but it's sort of like, I don't know, I might try to do key follow, maybe like reverse velocity. Is there such a thing on here? Yes, relative velocity. Relative velocity doesn't really work, and an aftertouch, I have a keyboard that does that, but we'll keep it like this. It's for simplicity. It works pretty well. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is the effects. Let's get the effects set up. The first effect is going to be a flanger. And it's just a regular flanger, not the BPM flanger. Although that might be pretty good. But so how this is going to go is a depth of 0. Just, you'll see, the time will be 928. So I programmed this on Opsix native, and it doesn't say time on here. It says speed, feedback, and mix. So I think time would be speed. So time is, I have to find my place on these notes I wrote. 2x brev. So maybe this is the BPM flanger after all. Yeah, it is. So it's the slowest setting where the bottom of the 6 knot is turned all the way to the right. Depth is at 0. And the mix for the flanger will be at 61. Oh shoot, did I navigate away from it? I did. And the feedback, what is the feedback again? Plus 56? Plus 56, yeah, not minus. So it's actually makes the sound a bit beefier. Alright, next is going to be the 3-band equalizer. And the low gain is minus 9.2. I'm going to actually have this lowered in bass because I don't want too much. This is a smaller instrument, right? The mid gain is plus 4.8 decibel. And the high mid frequency is going to be 614 hertz. You can make it anywhere between 6 and 700. I liked it at 614 for some random obscure reason. The high gain is plus 3.4 dB. You can vary that. So it almost has this weird distorted electric guitar if you have the mod wheel all the way up, which you don't need to do. You could also adjust the mod wheel for that other FM feedback matrix slot to not go to 100%, but to maybe 75 to make it a little less extreme. Last effect is reverb, and that's going to be the room reverb. So the type is going to be a room. Room. The time will be 928 milliseconds. $930. And yeah, and the level is going to be 64. You can lower that to your taste. Let's try 46. Yeah, that's probably pretty good there. So there's only one more thing to add, and that's going to be the motion sequencing. All that does is add a little flair to everything. So let me hit Shift Sequence. Before I do anything, I want to make sure the sequencer is set to the right BPM, and I'm setting it to 55. So the motions are going to go through the way that they're meant to, as I've made them. The length will be 16, of course. Resonance will be 1/16, and that's the key sync will be triggered. Latch? I don't know. Yeah, latch. It's a different on the hardware from the native. I have off, on, and track and latch. And when on the native it says key sync trig. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is because it keeps running. We want to keep running that, and if you want to stop it, you can just hit the play button and it'll stop. So the six. Let's go to the next page. The 6 ones are first operator 1 level. So hold on, I don't want any notes in there. How do I get rid of the notes? There. Motion. We're not putting any notes in the sequencer. We're just putting parameters. So it's operator 1 level for the first one. Let's put all of the 6 in. Operator 2 level. Operator 3 level for the second one. Excuse me. The third slot will be operator 3 level as well. We want to get some dynamism going in there for sure. Come on, level, tiny little scream. Let's go. Where is level? I don't see level. It isn't behaving. Is it not letting me do operator 3 level on 2 different things? That's one thing the native let me do. This is not letting me do. Interesting. Oh, that's kind of disappointing because on the native I can put operator 3 level to 2 different motion destinations, but here I can't do that. Okay, well, let's leave that blank for now. And let's go to the 4th slot, which is operator 5 FM wave width. Look on the screen on top if you're not sure. Continuing with this mod slot assignment for this Hurdy-Gurdy sound. Had a little break. So, operator 1 level. I'm just going to read out the levels of each. You can make it, it doesn't really matter what the levels are, but I made them go to different amounts. 71, 50, 41, 50, 72, 50, 29, 50, 75, 50, 25, 63, 84, 50, 33, 51. Ooh, I'm sorry. A little burst there. It actually wouldn't play until I turn the sequencer playing button off. Make sure when you're designing it, you turn this off first. So you're actually getting a difference of volume of operator 1 there. Back to the sequencer. That's done. Operator 3 level now. These are really the only important ones. The other two are the FM. This adds a little character and tone. And you can use your own levels for the 16 motion sequencer spots here. It really is up to you how you want to flavor it. I'm going to go through these though. I'm going to include them here. So step 1 will be 87, 77. 3 will be 49, leave that in the middle, 74. Step 4, now step 5, 91, almost near the top. Step 6, 50, leave that the same. Their default's set to 50, so we skip to the next one. 37, a little lower. Basically a little higher and a little lower. 50 and 8, 61. Step 9, step 10, 26. Step 11, 22. Step 12, 50. Step 13, 63. I'm not dialing these in exactly, but 30. Step 14 and 15 also 30. And step 16, 68. So, operators 1 and 3 levels are now fluctuating independently as I play the sequencers to mimic natural bow movement. Ooh. Sounds pretty cool. And that's without the other 4. I really wanted to see if I can get operator 3 level to... I can't do it on this. Maybe on Opsix Mark II I could, but no. So, let's see. Operator 5 FM. I'm going through this, then it'll be all done. So, operator 5 FM. Feedback, I think it is. No, wave width. So, starting with 19. Step 2, 50. Step 3, 65. Step 4, 37. Step 5, 50. Step 6, 1. Step 7, 50. Step 8, 52. Step 9, 0. Step 10, 50. Step 11, 31. See, just jumping around. What I love about it is automatically smooths between them because of the linear function. If you want to make it sudden, you go to step. It's really fun. You should experiment. But for this, you want to make it sound natural. Leave them as linear, and it'll sound really good. Step 12. 50, no, 50, yeah. Step 13, 67. Step 14, 50. Step 15, 25. Step 16, 50. Alright, so 5th mod slot here. Yeah, if you have native, you can add the extra operator 3 level motion sequencing, but that's my knee. On hardware, you can't. Alright, but that's not a major limitation. You could even add it as a mod matrix slot. You know what? Let's see if I can do that. Mod matrix slot. Let's go to LFO 3 and let's do operator 3 level. You have a rhythmic drone. Yeah, let's keep that. That sounds really good. All right. So anyway, back into the motion sequence. The 5th out of 5 out of 6, or 4 out of 5 in this case. So operator 2 FM will be at 86 for step 1, 50 for step 2, 37 for step 3, 50 for step 4, 69 for step 5, 35 for step 6, 12 for step 7, 92 for step 8, 50 and 50 for steps 9 and 10, 11, number 2, a value of 2, step 12, 50, step 13, 92, step 14, 19, step 15, 50 and step 16, 89. I really like that droning LFO. I think that's awesome. Maybe with Aftertouch you can change the speed of that LFO on a triggered keyboard. So last modulation on the motion sequencer for the FM feedback of operator 4. 56, 50, 11, 50, and then 9 on step 5. 50, then 59 on step 7, 50 on step 8, 9 on step 9, 9 on 9, 10, 50, 11, 0, 12, 50, 13, 60, step 14, 50, step 15, 0, and step 16, another 50. There it is. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And yeah, that's a Hurdy-Gurdy on an Opsix. Take care.